Hi, I'm Liberty Ellman, and I'm here with American Musical Supply. I'm from a number of places, I guess, but technically I grew up in New York. Both my parents were musicians, and so I grew up in a musical household where that was kind of what was expected of you, I guess, in a way, you know? When I started learning to play guitar, I was really into playing all kinds of music, so I played a lot of blues and rock, and my parents had an incredible record collection because they were musicians. And I was nerding out and going through their record collection looking for anything that had really great guitar players on it. And I stumbled across a Miles Davis record called In a Silent Way with John McLaughlin. And that was the first time I heard sort of this really virtuosic improvising. Even though the music was sort of a hybrid, it was fusion, but I could clearly tell that there was a whole other level of jazz vocabulary and things going on with his playing. So I got really addicted to that record and listened to it over and over and tried to lift some of what he was playing. So I had already been ODing on Jimmy and Jimmy Page and all that stuff. And then I started working backwards, and as I got into people like Joe Pass or Johnny Smith or some of the real kind of classic jazz players, it just became really crystalline for me. I loved the beautiful melodies and the harmonic sophistication and the dexterity and just, you know, the joy of putting in some practice and then feeling the rewards come out, you know. It's just really a really fun practice, playing jazz. So that got addicted. I would have to say some of my biggest influences would be Pat Martino or Kevin Eubanks. Some of the people who made jazz, you know, brought jazz sort of into a more modern context, because I really appreciated feeling like the music was very contemporary and not just sort of being a traditionalist, you know. The guitar's role in jazz has been pretty variable, actually, I think, throughout the history of it. But yeah, it's definitely can be either a lead instrument or a rhythm instrument. Primarily, it was a rhythm instrument in the beginning, in terms of jazz music. But I think that there have been so many great players over the years who've been able to completely meld the roles and bring the harmonic sophistication and be great accompanists, great compers, but also be exciting soloists and all that. But yeah, I think when you're developing a voice in jazz music in general, you have to sort of step away from the instrument and just look at who's contributing from a compositional level and from a band leading level, and those are the people that inspire, I think, everyone who plays jazz. So it might sound cliche, but you have to look at Miles and John Coltrane and Duke Ellington and Thelonious Monk and all these people who are not guitarists because of their incredible influence and what they've added to the canon of that music. So you would be remiss to not spend really a lot of time on listening to those players and listening to their writing if you want to be a part of that community. And you learn a lot about phrasing. You know, you listen to horn players, they have to breathe, you know, so yeah, it really helps to listen to the way they phrase and try to pick up. I mean, someone like Dexter Gordon was a big influence on me in terms of just picking up really simple lines. You know, if you want to learn to play like Wes Montgomery, you know, that language that they share is so similar. And Dexter is a good example of somebody, if you transcribe his lines, you're going to play some just kind of perfect changes, you know, that way. So there's so much to learn from all the different instruments, and how you choose to present your particular vision of that is going to be unique, you know, to what turns you on, you know. Well, this guitar is an EXL1. I've been playing one of these probably for about 6, 7, 8 months, but I play it a lot, and really blends well with the trio. I do trio playing and even solo stuff. It's really good for that too. So, but the EXL1 I think kind of excels in that jazz. You know, it's really like I play jazz. You know, at least the way I look at it. I mean, this to me is just like super classy and all around great jazz box. You know, so that's why I'm attracted to it. Well, D'Angelico guitars, you know, it's such a storied name in terms of like luthery. You know, I've played a lot of guitars, and I've had the good fortune to play a number of original ones. And you know, the wonderful thing about guitars, if you have a love and passion for them that all guitarists, no matter what kind of music you play, you see them as art and as an instrument. You know, so if you don't have one of a certain kind, you kind of always secretly you're coveting, like, I don't have one of those. You know, D'Angelico, for a player, you know, especially the original ones, they're a little bit out of, you know, the jazz players' price range these days. Mostly collectors have them. Sometimes they let you borrow them for recordings or something. But you know, the styling and the sound of them, they're just gorgeous, gorgeous instruments. So in terms of the jazz guitars, these guitars are such an incredibly good, I don't want to call it a replica because it's a new instrument, but I mean, it's, you know, it's such a good version of those classic New Yorker guitars. I had the opportunity to talk to Justin's representative here, was interested in bringing some of the current players into the fold. You know, I was excited about it because I said, you know, I've always wanted to play, you know, a New Yorker or one of those kind of guitars, and so I was really happy to have the opportunity to come in. You know, and they sound really great. You know, they're really great to play, and I think that now, you know, there's so many jazz schools around the country, and there's a lot of people playing jazz and students who are not going to necessarily start out with $15,000, $20,000 guitar, you know, and they would be hard pressed to find something that would really suit their needs to play kind of a classic jazz sound than one of these. It's kind of, to me, it's certainly one of the best values you could possibly have, you know, but also it's just actually a great instrument, so you're not even compromising. So win-win everywhere you go look at it.